Today we're going to talk about building the right contact list and cleaning the data. So before you start building your contact list, you need to think about who is my ideal customer. Easiest way to think about that is look at your existing customer base and think about what customers do you have the most success with and profile those businesses. How big are they? What industries are they in? How much revenue do they have? What makes them a customer that makes it easier for you to fulfill and allows you to keep them on board as a client longer? And you have to just think about what are the dynamics of this business that make them good for you, and then try to draw a line to other businesses that are similar based on that criteria. Again, an example would be they're all in the university and education space. So if that is a similar criteria to 3, 4, 5 clients that you do well with, that would be an industry that you'd want to look at pursuing when you make your actual list. Employee size is another element that helps you judge the size of that business and can be looked at as a data point when you're making that list. At the end of the day, it's just important to build a profile, list the criteria of the clients that you do well with, and then try to find similar companies when you're building your list. There's a few ways of gathering contact information. The easiest way and the lowest hanging fruit is to buy a list. That's what most companies do. There's thousands of companies out there that provide lists. The expectation that you have is the big component here. Regardless of what the list is sold as, 60% of the data is most likely going to be inaccurate. That's a function of the world changing so quickly. So decision makers change, roles change, titles change, businesses change on a daily basis. So if you purchase a list, and that's probably the easiest way to go, expect that you're going to have to then verify the names on that list or clean that list to get accurate data. So I mentioned cleansing, and cleansing is probably the most important part of this process. You've just acquired a list, and the reality is a little less than half of the data is accurate, meaning that you're going to have to go through and verify the names, the addresses, the decision makers, the decision maker contact information in some way. Today, the only way that we found you can trust is manual verification, which means physically reaching out to these businesses and confirming that information is correct. It's painfully tedious, but at the end of the day, if you're marketing to a business and you're marketing to the wrong individual, you're completely wasting your time. So although the cleansing step is tedious, it is resource extensive, it's vitally important, because if you're not talking to the right people, you're completely wasting your time. You should be cleansing your data monthly. That's pretty much the frequency in which the world changes in any real way, where decision maker titles, the contact information, a role within that organization, their current vendor situation, all these things change. So it's important to have an efficient way to reach back out to these companies and verify that information. So at the end of the day, you really need to both acquire data fairly consistently. You also need to cleanse that data very consistently. So at our company, we put an individual, a data manager, in place to do that for each individual client. If you're doing this on your own, you're going to have a resource or an individual whose job it is to make sure that that data is as solid as it can be on a monthly basis.